Hey guys, Vanessa Barrios here with For Life Canine Academy. Just wanted to drop in with this video, your first homework assignment. I'm going to give you all the information that you need to know so that when it's time for your first training session with your new and improved pup, you're going to be ready. I'm going to get you acquainted with all kinds of new things today so that you and your family, you need to watch this video so that no one is lost during the first training session. I'm going to teach you how to be a confident dog handler, and this is step one, knowledge is power. So this video, watch it once, watch it twice, fall asleep to it. I don't care what you do, but get comfortable with the information that is coming your way. It's going to make your transition much, much smoother, okay? So first things first, let's talk about how dogs learn. Dogs learn through actions resulting in rewards or consequences, okay? They learn to make choices through pressure, tone, and body language. Dogs always work to better their own situation. Whatever that may be to them, that is what makes them tick. Okay, and the problem with that is their natural behavior and drive to better their own situation, again, whatever that may be, compared to the way that we need them and desire them to behave in our world, it puts us on two totally different wavelengths. Extremely frustrating as dog owners. But you have to understand that you are speaking two completely different languages. One is not anything like the other, okay? This is not like Spanish and Italian, okay? Where if you know a little bit of one, you might have a little bit of luck with the other. This is Greek and Chinese, okay? Completely different. And that, my friends, is where balanced training comes in. By tapping into a dog's innate response system, something they're already ingrained in them, giving them proper guidance, patience, repetition, and consistency, all while speaking their language, pressure, tone, body cues, we can finally get onto the same wavelength with our dogs. And once you do that, it's like magic. You must be on the same page. You must be speaking the same language. So we've been working really hard with that, and now, of course, it's time to teach you how to speak the language and get on the same wavelength. So let's talk pressure. Your dog has already had so much exposure to pressure, and you may not even realize it until right about now. Whether you had your dog on a choke collar, a flat collar, prong collar, slip lead, harness, whatever you had your dog on prior to the beginning of their training, they've had exposure to pressure, okay? It's constant pressure, but it's pressure. The problem here is that they have not learned to yield to the pressure because they don't realize that they have the ability to turn it off. They think that they have to power through it, which is why many people say the dog doesn't care, he'll choke himself out, before he stops pulling. He's just going to keep pulling, choke himself out. The dog just doesn't know, and over time, you accidentally build yourself a dog with an extremely high tolerance for pressure. So our very first lesson with the dog was to teach them the concept of pressure, the proper concept and communication style of pressure. And that is pressure on and pressure off. Now your dog has learned that they're actually in control of that pressure. Okay, their behavior turns it on and their behavior turns it off. And when done properly, pressure on, pressure off, we also call this the correction, okay? Correction on, correction off. That is your leash pop, okay? It goes tight and it goes loose. It's pop, pop, okay? So we call this the correction. So pressure is correction, correction is pressure. And that's important because you're gonna hear us say this many times. Remember when we talked about speaking the same language? There's a lot of lingo in dog training. So you need to make sure that you're familiar with it, okay? So that's why, the purpose of this video is to help familiarize you with the lingo so that you are not confused. It'll be much easier for you, okay? Speaking of language and lingo, let's talk tone. And I need to start by saying that there's way too much talking in dog training. People are always repeating themselves. For us, this is normal. If you have kids or if you have a husband, you are always repeating yourself. So of course, we want to do this with our dogs. We want to sit, sit, sit. Fido, sit. I know you can do this. Sit. Just stop it. Say it once. Give the dog a second to follow through, and if he doesn't do it, make him do it. Be consistent. Don't tell him to sit if you are not fully prepared to make him do it. Some people from across the room, they'll be like, hey, you sit, and you're sitting on the couch, and you're not getting up off the couch. You know what I mean? Don't tell the dog to sit. Don't leave him alone, you know? If you're not prepared to get up and make him do it, don't give him the command. You need to be consistent, okay? Because if he blows you off, you're in big trouble if you're not following through on that, okay? Because the second you give him a command, he doesn't do it, and you don't make him do it, you just took a giant leap backwards. Because now your dog thinks that you don't really care, you don't really mean it. It makes him feel like your command, not a command, simply a suggestion. Sit if you want, but if you don't want to sit, I'm cool with that too. Now, some people come back to me and they're like, I don't really care about the sit. You know, it doesn't do anything for me. Okay, well, do you care about the recall? Side note, recall is the come command, okay? We recall our dogs. So I say, you know, do you care about the recall? Oh, yeah, I need him to do that. You know, I need him to do that the first time, every time. You know, oh yeah, you do, because if he's running out to the road, it could save his life. But guess what? We do not thrive if we are not consistent, and you must be consistent with all of your commands, okay? You need to build yourself a solid dog through consistency and repetition using clear communication, okay? All right, so all of that out of the way, let's talk about how to communicate with our dogs and how to help them make good choices by using tone in an effective manner, because it's so much more than just be like, oh, good dog, get bad. You know, there's so much more to it than that. It's not necessarily, you know, what you say either. It's how you say it. Clearly inconvenient.